Hello, folks, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe, 2 in Love. Here today for your AEW Dynamite review for this past Wednesday, January 3rd edition of Dynamite. First AEW Dynamite of 2024 of the new year. Was a fun edition, I think, throughout some parts, good, bad, and the fallout of World's End, which was a unique pay-per-view in of itself on Saturday, in which we crowned not only a new AEW World Champion in Samoa Joe, we also had the Continental Crown Classic Champion, whatever you want to say, Eddie Kingston. He was crowned, and the Devil and their own crew was set up in Adam Cole to be revealed. So there was a lot to unpack in recap from how World's End met, and Dynamite, I think, delivered for the most part. And it was a good show. Had the mix of Fallout and, a standard Dynamite, which you can't appreciate. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you guys for joining me. Of course, if you're new, want to see more, you can catch up on this side, subscribe somewhere down below, as well as, of course, the like button. But thank you guys all for joining me today. And let's get it going. So, first, we got a glimpse, or basically we saw Samoa Joe's post-match comments from his interview after his match versus MJF at World's End. We did not get him actually on the show tonight, but we will get him next week in his first, I guess, real celebration towards or from winning the World Championship. I mean, I probably said this a good amount on the review for World's End, but I mean, just happy for Samoa Joe. I mean, again, saw him during his days in TNA and WWE, and certainly saw his run as TNA World Champion. Never got that moniker, being World Champion in WWE. Yes, in NXT, but nonetheless is what it is. And now he's the AEW World Champion. So, great fashion, and can't be happier for him, certainly. But yeah, coming into this post-match promo from him, he said, I quote, "I'm not a prophet, but I gave you a future. I'm not a seer, but I saw what the future held. You know that this championship means I'm not a man who makes predictions, but I am a man who keeps promises. MJF not too long ago at Grand Slam used everything within your power to steal from me my rightful championship, and you thought that somehow, some way, that I would be like the rest of the scumbags here in New York and appreciate you. You do know I'm no Maxwell Jacob Freeman. What you do to me, I revisit upon you 1,000 fold. You embarrassed me, you cheated, and you took this from me. Or did what at your disposal to take it from me. And I turned everyone you loved against you. I showed up to your neighborhood in front of your friends and family, and I took everything from you. And you may be a scumbag, but I'm a heartless SOB or son of a bitch. And in a world that is not big enough for men like you, and I occupy the same. So from time to time, I will always can take what is mine, and that he'll take everything from anyone who tries to take the world championship from him. I mean, just a little bit, but great words from Samoa Joe. After his AEW World Championship victory, also seeing the media scrum, seeing what Samoa Joe had to say, that was great stuff. Kind of heartwarming. So, yeah, definitely encourage you to watch it. Again, if you haven't, great stuff. Adam Cole. So, we mentioned the other huge thing on World's End was the reveal of the Devil and his henchmen, in which turned out to be Adam Cole, Wardlow, Roddy, and the Kingdom. And we have a new name for this crew. It is now known, and they also have new theme music, which is both eerie and raucous. So, something there. But, first of all, I like it. It suits. So, Adam Cole is apparently still hurt, so there's that. Heads to explain why Samoa Joe is still or probably play into the fact as well that Samoa Joe is world champion right now. So, great stuff. But I thought this segment with all five of these guys, and the Bullet Club, Bullet Club Gold, I thought it was fun. So, it's funny, originally, Adam Cole's old theme music played, and there was power going off, like a big reveal, big something, and all of a sudden, the music cuts off, goes back to normal, and then we hear this kind of airy but rockful, music, with the black, the Undisputed Kingdom, the whole different graphics. It was fun and it was cool. So, Kingdom was out there, Roddy was out there, Wardlow was out there, Adam Cole still was out there with crutches. So, yeah, you could tell that he's still injured. Yeah, sucks, but Cole was injured, but this was definitely a fun segment, and they were all still wearing black, paying homage to that. So, That was cool. But yeah, they were out there, got to ring, and then cool stuff there. So we know how when Adam Cole, when he gets up on the apron, he does that point to himself at that beat in his song, and the crowd with them all says boom. So this time, an interesting touch. So he was on the apron. He held up the mask right next to him. And then as he did the point to him, the lights and the lighting kind of changed to like, yellowy, golden. I mean, that was a unique touch, certainly to it. So yeah, Cole was up singing and he had the mask right in front of him. So first we hear from Roddy, and as figured, bunch of boos, and he tells everyone out there to shut up and listen to what his best friend has to say. Adam! So yeah, there's still that. So Cole, this is funny. So he's like, do you guys not have sympathy for me? Says it's ironic that so many people are disgusted that he betrayed MJF, the guy who for months and months would get up on the stage and run down everybody on the roster. And, does have a point. Does have a point. He says, one, you're all stupid, and that two, you guys don't understand what right from wrong. And he said, if that makes him the bad guy, then he wants a first class ticket, quote, straight to hell. So there you go. So, yeah, this was... So he talked about MJF saying that he's had his claws hooked into AEW for far too long. Yeah, this was... It's about some time someone did something, and eventually people will thank him, saying that people in the locker room will thank him, and then even Tony Khan will thank him someday for what he did. So, he said, a good known too, said that MJF, needed him. He never needed MJF. Said that, for a while it was something, but then he got hurt because of him, and then it was about destroying the guy to his core, ripping out his heart, and bringing him to his knees. They said that MJF's not here, but they all have things in common, and that is to win championship gold. So, talked about the Kingdom, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett being the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Talked about Roddy going for the International Championship. So, you can tell that's inevitable. Roddy to take the title off Orange Cassidy. Good spot there. And that Wardlow will be gunning for the AEW World Championship. And he said that when the time is right and he's fully healed, he expects Wardlow to do the right thing and to forfeit the AEW World Championship to him. And Wardlow was like nonchalant, like, yeah, sure. So already planting seeds to get not only Wardlow over again, but Adam Cole to be world champion when he's healthy. So he talked about Samoa Joe, saying, congrats to Samoa Joe, it was a pleasure doing business with you. But he stated that Joe, when the time is right, and when Wardlow rises to the ranks and he's ready to challenge you for that world championship, he says he hopes that Samoa Joe is not the world champion, because it would really suck to hurt a friend. So yeah, that was funny. So, one sec, I gotta get a drink. Alright, cool. Need a drink there, but good. So I talked about them being the Undisputed Kingdom. And that next we hear Bullet Club Gold, Jay White's music hit, and say that's good to see Adam Cole back, his old friend. Says that he admires his plan, admires what he did to MJF, but say what he doesn't like was that he was the first victim of their attack, and that it doesn't fit well with him that he was the catalyst in all these attacks in his plan. But he said that he's not willing to wait for a fight, and says that unlike last time, he's not alone. Now that he knows that's him. So next we see the Guns, Austin and Cole Gunn. They were out there, and unfortunately Juice Robinson is still hurt. Again, he ties so much in the act. But I have to say, the Bullet Club Gold got a nice reaction here. And they went on to the attack of the Undisputed Kingdom, and Wardlow was ultimately the difference. And they claimed, again, another members that were attacked by the Undisputed Kingdom, they were in for the save on Bullet Club Gold, and Bullet Club Gold left before there was any camaraderie or thanks or at peace. So our Bullet Club Gold tweeners. I don't know. This certainly unique. I mean, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. So it's a weird scenario. I mean, I don't see them as babyfaces, tweeners at best. So it's certainly be unique, but yeah, we know the history with Jay White and Adam Cole. Certainly be interesting, but if this is kind of way for Bullet Club Gold to win the trio titles again, because they claim they're going to want revenge as well, it's an idea. But yeah, Roddy going after the international title. The Kingdom with the Ring of Honor tag titles. And I assume when the time is right, they'll want to go for the AEW tag titles. So good for them. And then Wardlow eventually going for the World Championship. That's certainly the whole ordeal. And again, planting the seeds of trying to be when Wardlow is going to have his breakout moment as part of the group. But yeah, overall, really liked this segment, really did. Orange Cassidy versus Dante Martin. So, fun match between two. So, of course, during the match, or World's End, Dante had challenged Orange Cassidy to a match on Wednesday for the International Championship, and know how good both these two are, so figure we're going to be in store for a quality match, and it was good. Now seeing what the Undisputed Kingdom, Trent, are aimed at their mission statement, clearly we knew who was not going to win this match, but still was good. So after a while, Orange Counter with Slumdog Millionaire got a near fall out of it. Dante installed his, high flying, hit tope over top, and a springboard crossbody in the middle ring for a near fall. Orange got some offense in, hit a thrust kick, like a tilt-a-whirl DT for a near fall. Dante fired back, went for a top rope splash, but Orange just nonchalantly rolled out of the way. But eventually, Dante was like, screw the distance, even though he was mostly across the ring, and managed to hit big splash off the top for a near fall. So then some back and forth. Dante was almost caught with a crucifix, but fell out of it. Orangin hit an orange punch. 1, 2, 3, and Orange Cassidy retains the International Championship. So there's that. There's some, I would say, production error as after a bit when there was like show respect between the two sides, Top Flight and the Best Friends. Top Flight's music hit, so that was a little something there. Then Private Party. Yes, Private Party. Who it's been like a long time since we've seen anything about Private Party. You know, I've been with AEW since day one. You know, Mark Quinn's been out with some injury. Clearly, it seems he's back healthy now to pair with Isaiah Cassidy, and good to see they're back. So they were in the ring, and they basically said that the tag division has been missing something, and that they're aiming for all the teams in the tag division, whether it's Best Friends, whether it's FTR, whether it's the Young Bucks, or the Hardys. You know, playing names out there. And, yeah, it's going to be a good ride. AEW putting back effort in the tag division. Certainly being an interesting start. I mean, we got FTR versus House Black on Saturday for a Collision. So, I mean, new year, put more effort. It's a good start. But, of course, we'll see. I also want to make notice, because I saw it a bit, that, again, reports, not everything is true that you see, but reports are reports. So, I saw something the other day that said, you know, Tony Khan would be open to women's tag titles. And I just want to give a quick 2 cents about it, being that AEW already has enough titles. Period. They already have 2 women's titles as well. Just referring to the women's division. They already have 2 titles. Women's tag titles will only make it worse. Honestly. Now they do have enough women, but 3 titles for one division. That seems a bit too much. And see, the thing is, we saw on Wednesday, you know, it's like now they had the Continental Crown, and they kind of rushed to A. Kingston because they're like, oh no, we have to make a defense for the Continental Crown now, because, you know, it's like for Eddie. And then we see kind of this haphazard, like throwing it together, fatal 4-way to determine who would face Eddie at Collision. And it's like, no women's tag titles in AEW. No. Please, no. That's all I'll say. There's already enough titles. Okay? Good. Please, Tony. Please, no. Now then again, he was probably saying something to just appease people because, you know, yeah. Toni Storm. She was backstage talking about her victory over Riho. And she was asked about Mariah May. You know, she's begging about Mariah May, pleading for advice on her matches. So Tony was like, darling, I don't watch wrestling. Probably too busy. So pretty much he said some stuff after Luther carried her off and said chin, tits, shoe went off, and luckily Renee dodged the shoe. So pretty much there was that. Swerve Strickland talked about Daniel Garcia and his goal. He made claim for wanting championship gold in 2024. I mean, he was asked at the presser for World's End, like, what's his New Year's resolution for 2024? And he said to be the first black or first African American AEW World Champion. So there you go. Mariah May. She made her AEW debut now, or in-ring debut. Against Queen Animata. Now, I've seen clips of Mariah May, people post her a lot on the timeline or online. So I have seen glimpses of her in-ring action, but, I haven't really... This is really my first time seeing a match of her, like a full slated match. And, judging this to be the first real time I saw her match, pretty good. Pretty good. I can see why, people love her, and, why people feature her as a good addition to the women's division. So, her finisher, she won here with what she calls the Mayday, which was kind of a both attitude adjustment or a sit out Death Valley driver. So that was something, but good strength by Mariah May for the win. So she was all excited in that being her AEW in-ring debut. So there were rumors that someone was gonna debut for AEW and the women's division, and certainly there. And someone did. I'm not sure if it's what people wanted, per se. I mean, when it comes to a women's edition, big addition to AEW now, people talk about Mercedes Moné, when is it going to happen? So was a really good addition, though, on Wednesday. Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo. So they were in New Jersey, and she's from New Jersey, so she obviously touted that out. So she interrupted Mariah May's post-match comments or her interview, and Mariah was not happy about it. So she basically sent a message to the messenger, and Mariah said, "I'm not the messenger, so tell her yourself, bitch." So she slapped her, and that was only the beginning. So now, Deonna, she's one of the best in the world. She's a great wrestler. Definitely one of the best looking. So, adding another really good piece to the women's division. It's just the thing about booking. It's like, now, okay, Mariah May, Toni Storm, Deonna Purrazzo, Sky Blue's coming along, Chris Statlander, Willow, got some pieces there, Sheeta, Serena Deeb, I think is healthy again, but is she going to be wrestling for AEW? Not sure. Any event, there are some matches to be made, so goes there. Yeah, so I believe the last time we saw her on AEW TV was her match with Mercedes Martinez in the main event for the Undisputed Ring of Honor Women's Championship. So there's that last year. But I'd say really good overall addition to the women's roster. So goes there. And you already have a built-in feud with those two. So funny there. The patriarchy of AEW. Christian Cage. He was out there with Shayna Wayne, Nick Wayne, and Killswitch, aka Luchasaurus. This was, as you expect, funny. Or this great, as you expect. So, Christian, very happy about regaining the TNT Championship on Saturday, as he lost it, then won again at the hands of Adam Copeland, which was a great match. So, Shayna Wayne first talked to, and, she's living up to this heel role. She's like, how dare you? You boo me. You boo a mother. And then she asked them all to praise the greatest TNT champion of all time, the patriarchy, Christian Cage, or the patriarch, Christian Cage. So he told everyone to shut up in New Jersey, conduct his business. He praised Shane Wayne, he praised Nick Wayne, for his greenness and going through a flaming table on Sunday. Told him he loved him. They had a moment. And then he turned his back. So Luchasaurus or Killswitch, who's behind him, and he said he wanted to thank the guy who helped put down his right-hand man, or helped him put down Adam Copeland and lead to the end of Adam Copeland. And which Kill Switch was, he was anxious, he was happy, being recognized. And then Chris Cage said, me. So, and touted how they are the patriarchy of AEW. Now and forever. Great stuff. Great segment. Chris Cage is great. Clearly this feud gotta be revisited sometime down the line. Great stuff. Great stuff. So, Ruby Soho, Saraya, and Harley Cameron, they were backstage, and Harley Cameron's thin look of the Outcasts, or at least that's how it was to Saraya, and trying to prove it to Ruby Soho. The Outcasts here, it's aye. So, anyways, okay segments. Not too much here. Yeah. Konosuke Takeshita versus Darby Allin. This was a fun match. Honestly, Darby, the spots he is willing to do never cease to amaze me, honestly. I mean, just like Takeshita, we know how good he is. I mean, we saw the glimpse of it between these two in that 8-man tag on Saturday. I mean, the spot when Darby went for his brutal suicida and then Takeshita come with a big knee. I mean, that was something in of itself. So, getting this match here. So, Darby, he took a rolling German suplex on the ramp the aisleway. So, that was the first tough spot for Darby on this match. And then Darby got away in this match. He got a stunner. His suicida then on the outside. Konosuke come. Landed a modified tombstone for a near fall. Darby and Konosuke, they're on the outside. Well, Don Callis, he was impressed in commentary. Darby had a cough drop to the outside onto Takeshita. Back in the ring. Code red by Darby for a near fall. Followed a crucifix swan. This one, Darby was challenging his offense. Darby then hit a lariat, but for two. Konosuke, they were on the top. And Konosuke hit another big German suplex, but this time off the top. Followed up. And hit a big running knee to Darby, which sealed it for Konosuke, and got the win. Good stuff. I mean, so Takeshita now is being Omega twice, and now Darby. Feels like, it certainly feels like Takeshita needs some gold after these big wins. Obviously, the question is what? So, we'll see. So, the Don Callis family, speaking of the Don Callis family, so they were backstage. Takeshi cut this promo in Japanese on Darby, and Don Callis laid out a challenge for next week. Takeshita and Hobbs versus Darby and Sting next week. So, fun event is alright. Again, look, no complaints about Sting because, again, Revolution's going to be his last match. So, I mean, it's like more Sting, honestly, the better. Before his final match ever. So, Eddie Kingston then was on commentary. And what I said earlier. So, we got a four-way match here. Bryan Keith, Vikingo, and Trent barreta. Ay. Four-way match to determine who would face Eddie Kingston on Collision for the Continental Crown. Now, no disrespect to any of the guys involved, but I think we can be honest and say that, look, when Eddie won the crown on Saturday, there was a belief that, well, Eddie would be showcased more. And you gotta showcase or book this guy in a mannerable fashion or relevant fashion to the point where people will want to be a part of the Continental Classic next or later this year. And already it's off to a nonchalant. So it's like you can let it breathe a bit before you find a next challenge for Eddie Kingston. Instead, it just felt like they threw it together. Brian Cage, love Brian Cage. Trent barreta, he's good, but he's a solid tag team, best friends. Which again, I have not seen or heard of Chuck Taylor in a while. So, Bryan Keith, I was impressed with his performance against Orange Cassidy a couple weeks ago, but what has he done to earn a championship match? And then Vikingo, it's crazy because he was first brought in to be a dream match with Omega. And then all of a sudden you start showcasing more and more in these weird spots, and it's just like confusing. I mean, the match was fine, but it just felt odd. Certainly, because if this is a reward for winning the Konosuke Classic, it's not great showcase to start. So, anyway, Trent, had some offense here. All these guys had their fair share of offense. Trent won here with a ground zero. It's a modified pile driver. 1, 2, 3. Got the win. So we got Eddie Kingston for Trent Barreta on Collision. Should be good. Fine match. But, yeah. Well, you guys already get my point. Not trying to sound too negative here. I'm just saying the fact. So, anyway. Next up, main events. So, Swerve Strickland for Daniel Garcia. I think we kind of figured what was going to happen. With this, because if there's one thing ever since we've learned about Daniel Garcia in his stance that has gotten over, and then Prince Nana and his dance saying you knew that the dance off was going to be inevitable. And it wasn't egregious, but it was kind of hilarious. So, we got that. But the match is good. Garcia can tell he's coming along. And then, but, yeah, because he won against Roy King, and then he won at World's End. So you can tell they're showcasing him more. Or they're following up with its momentum, so it seems. And the match is good. So, how it goes next, I'm not too familiar, but what we saw at the ending, kind of figured. So, before the match, Renee was backstage with Dang Magic Matt Menard, saying he was going to be in commentary. I mean, Matt Menard's always on commentary for Daniel Garcia's matches as of late. So we saw Hangman, who last time we saw him was a couple weeks ago when he was shoved into that hood or the windshield of that car by the Devil's Henchman. So he was pissed, looking for a fight. So, kind of figured with Swerve in this match, something was going to go down. So, it didn't happen during the match, it happened after. So, Swerve hit offense in this match. Big spot early was swerving a death valley driver on the apron, back in ring. So, Garcia hit a superplex, but Swerve countered into a suplex of his own. Swerve hit a leaping flatliner follow a house call for a near fall. Swerve managed to hit the Swerve stomp, and I think many would think that was it. But Garcia kicked out if there was one. I don't think Garcia is there yet to kick out the Swerve stomp. That's just my opinion, but yeah. So Garcia went for a roll, but Swerve kicked out. Finally, Garcia etching a house call kick, followed with a JML driver on Garcia for the win. So afterwards, Swerve, I hate this lighting for him. I don't know why. It seems like sometimes it goes blurry in the knot from my green screen, so I apologize by any event. So Swerve offered up his hand for a handshake to Garcia after the match, but then Prince Nana, all of a sudden, low blow on Garcia from behind, and then Matt Menard, he was pissed, so he tried to defend Garcia, but he caught a low blow as well. And then Hangman Page storms to the ring, has a fight on his mind, and Swerve, they were in each other's faces. Swerve laughed, and all of a sudden it's fisticuffs back and forth. Referees and officials broke in between them, and brawl is going down. The way it seems, Hangman Page for Swerve 3. It seems like that's the case. See, it's weird because, again, with now Samoa Joe champion, you have a heel champion. Some interesting dynamics here because you got Adam Cole said that Wardlow is going to be going for a world championship. He's a heel. Swerve has his eye on the world championship. He's a heel. Samoa Joe, the world champion, is a heel. So this poses some unique dynamics for the world title picture going forward. But we'll see. But any event, guys, that was how AEW Dynamite went off the air. Hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless, and this review nonetheless. Again, if you guys are new, go over to that subscription box there in the corner, wherever it is. Click it, notification bell, etc. Also, if you guys like this video, be sure to click that like, thumbs up. But thank you guys. Catch you guys for Collision. As it's funny, because there was no Collision last week. So this would be my first Collision review with the new kind of setup. So keep guys open for that. Sometimes Sunday or Monday. So with that be out of the way, thank you guys all. See you guys later. Peace.